looked up the definition of treason as soon as people started saying this was treason, and indeed it is. It's just as serious to me as the Cuban Missile Crisis in terms of an attack or the 9/11 attack. The president is taking the side of the people who attacked us instead of trying to prevent a future attack. I would say that his performance today will live in infamy as much as the Pearl Harbor attack or Kristallnacht.
Imagine hosting that show and somebody says, this is really like Pearl Harbor or Kristallnacht. Wouldn't you say, what? But they didn't. Nothing is being held back in this conversation about Russia, this mass hysteria. Lost elections and policy changes are part of living in a democracy, but some, literally, in the Congress are rooting for a military government or a world war or both. Congressman Adam Smith is a Democrat who represents Washington. Yesterday, he released a statement describing Trump's remarks in Helsinki as, quote, treason. He joins us now to explain that. Congressman, thanks a lot for coming on. So you don't agree with the president's view of how the United States ought to approach Russia. That's a policy disagreement.
Yeah, no, that's
treason?
Fine. No, that's not. And let me just say, as I understand the law now, as I look at it, the president is the remedy for a crime by the president is impeachment. So treason is the wrong
How is it a crime to disagree with you? And who's the fascist here?
Well, let me tell you what the crime is.
Okay.
The FBI just yesterday, a couple days ago now, indicted 12 high-ranking Russian officials for hacking into and influencing the U.S. election. Now, I know there's a lot of dispute on that here, but
I'm not disputing it. That
within our intelligence community, it absolutely happened. And the president of the United States has systematically tried to undermine the investigation to do that, leading right up to saying in front of the international community, basically siding with the hostile foreign power. We have a hostile foreign power who attacked.
Oh, so doubting the conclusions of the intel community is now treason. It's a crime to doubt what an intel agency says?
With the hostile foreign power that
to have opinions you don't like and to ask questions about the conclusions, the imprecise and never fully explained conclusions of an powerful American
They have been fully explained.
Really?
Yes.
They have.
Yes.
I've been following very carefully, and I have a lot of questions. Am I committing a crime in asking them?
Absolutely not. I'm going to need more than 10 seconds to explain this.
Okay.
So I will try.
Where's the crime?
The crime is basically that they hacked into our DNC server and other servers and did a whole bunch of other disinformation campaigns to try to influence our election. A foreign power tried to do that. That is clearly the crime. Also in this indictment, it shows that the 12 Russian operatives had regular contact with high-ranking Trump campaign officials.
But no, I'm sorry. My fault. I didn't clarify. What is the crime that the president committed in doubting the indictments? And these are indictments. This is not the product of a jury trial, right? These are charges.
The crime,
so by definition, they're not proven. But you're saying that if you doubt charges brought by the government against somebody, you're a criminal.
No, I'm saying that if you attempt to obstruct the investigation,
how is he attempting to obstruct it by doubting it on stage yesterday?
Well, he is siding with a foreign power.
So having the same opinion as Vladimir Putin on something is a crime?
Basically undermining the ability to do the investigation is.
How does it undermine by disagreeing or asking questions? So I was there yesterday in Helsinki, and Trump said, I didn't agree with everything Trump said. I agree with this. Where's the server? Exactly. Well, why didn't the FBI examine the server? I think that's a fair question. I don't know the answer to that question.
I do know the answer to that question.
Okay, but I don't. So does that make me a criminal for asking?
No. Not at all.
But you're saying the president is.
No, he's not a criminal for asking that question. He's not a criminal, period. He potentially has committed impeachable crimes.
Well, you said he committed treason in the statement.
And as I said, that was an overstatement, and I did not understand the term of art where treason is concerned.
Okay, but he committed a crime. I mean, whatever you call it, a high crime, a misdemeanor, a crime.
Yeah.
You get impeached for a crime, as you know.
Yeah, high crime and misdemeanor.
Okay.
It actually doesn't have to be a crime.
Where's the crime? Why is it a crime? So what scares me about you is that as a lawmaker, you would even think that disagreement is a crime.
It is not. I do not think that at all.
But you said that it was.
No, I didn't. You said that I said that it was.
Okay,
I have not said that it was. What I have said consistently is what Trump did trying to get Comey to back off of Flynn, what Trump did in firing Comey, what Trump has done consistently calling this investigation a witch hunt and fake news, trying to.
You're not allowed to call it. So you're not allowed to criticize the investigation. Are you allowed? Am I allowed to criticize the FBI? Will you arrest me if I do? What if I think the FBI is going astray?
You can absolutely do that. But if you are the president of the United States,
the president can't.
And you take steps to undermine the investigation.
Why is it? Wait, hold on. Why is expressing your opinion and undermining it. So, like, I wouldn't use the term witch hunt.
Well,
but
you skipped over a very important thing here.
You issued a statement after a public press conference yesterday where the president spoke on camera to the world, and there was something about what he said yesterday that you believe constitutes a crime. And that's a threat, I think, to all of us if we have lawmakers saying that public remarks are a criminal act. And so I just want to get really precise about what he did yesterday that you believe qualifies him for an impeachment trial.
He was undermining the investigation by citing the foreign power that committed the crime over our own Justice Department after issuing those indictments. And as President of the United
States, unlike you or me or anybody else, he's the head of this investigation. Technically, he's the president. He's in charge of the Justice Department. He's in charge of all of it.
No, we have an independent counsel, as you know.
Who he has the right to fire.
If he fired him, you would impeach him for firing. I mean, why do you come on the show and play silly games with me?
I'm not playing silly games.
He's the head of the investigation. It's an independent counsel investigation. The whole point of it is
he has step after step after step attempted to undermine this investigation.
Okay, well, you're making me want to criticize my government even more because I believe it's my patriotic right.
It is your patriotic right.
Okay, but I'm worried you're going to accuse me of a crime, as you just did to another American citizen yesterday for disagreeing with you.
I did not accuse him of a crime for disagreeing with me. I accused him of a crime for trying to cover up what the Russians did. That's the bottom line.
I'm missing the distinction, and I think
also I said in my statement that we should see Mueller's investigation before we proceed with any of this.
I don't think people who believe that dissent is criminal should be entrusted with power. Do you?
I just said that I wanted to see Mueller's investigation before we go forward with this. Right. I will say it was not well chosen, but I will absolutely say, I'm not the only one. I mean, George.
No, I know. That's why I'm so worried about this moment. I'm being told for the fifth time around. I'm aware. There are a lot of people who are saying dissent is a crime. And as the last civil libertarian in Washington,
it is not dissent. What is a crime is covering up and obstructing justice. Obstructing justice.
All right. Now they're barking at me. I got to go. Congressman, thank you for explaining that. It's nice to see you.
I appreciate the chance. It's good to see you.
We apologize for the audio issues we had during that segment, part 2 of our full extended interview with